Welcome to Yellowbird Pilates. My name's Amy and we're going to be doing an intermediate level workout for you today. You'll need a small ball and a small head cushion. If you don't have these, then cushions from the sofa or something like that will be just as good. So we're going to start by placing the ball in between the tops of the thighs and just finding our footing here. So feet hip width distance apart, stacked under hips. Thinking about lovely soft ribs not flaring out. Thinking about a wide open collarbone, like a smile. And then drawing our shoulder blades together and down towards our back pocket. So relaxing through that shoulder area there. And then we're going to just tuck the chin slightly to elongate the spine at the back of the neck. And just imagine you have a marionette string coming up through the crown of your head, pulling you out from your waist up your spine, elongating through that spine, feeling the space. And then we're going to close our eyes for a moment and just start to breathe. Get our Pilates breaths going. So in through the nose, expanding the lungs laterally, and then exhaling through the mouth like you're blowing out some birthday candles. Again, in through the nose, wide lateral breath filling the lungs, and as you exhale, drawing the core in towards your spine, feeling that lovely sense of centering. In through the nose, wide lateral breath, out through the mouth, gentle pressure on the ball, helping you to feel that pelvic floor engagement lifting up to join your center. Once more like that, in through the nose, expanding the lungs, and out through the mouth, everything drawing up and in. Lovely feeling of strength through your core. And then thinking about your core engagement today, so your pelvic floor, your abdominal muscles need to be on about a 3 out of 10 to support you through the workout. Okay, so opening the eyelids. And we're going to start just with some spine warm-ups. So we're going to reach down towards our knee, and then from there we're folding forwards from the tummy button, allowing the head and shoulders to go loose, and then rolling, restacking the spine up through each vertebra at a time. Taking an inhale at the top, rolling the shoulders back and reaching down towards the other side. Inhaling there, exhaling to fold forwards, light engagement through the core to roll you back up. A little shoulder roll at the top, inhaling there, exhaling to glide back down to the other side, reaching towards that knee, inhaling there, exhaling to fold forwards like a half scarecrow. Inhaling there, exhale, restack the spine, roll the shoulders out, and then reach down to the other side. Enjoying that lovely lateral flexion for the spine. Inhaling there, folding forwards, keeping that engagement in the core, and rolling back up, vertebra by vertebra. Shoulder roll at the top, and then we're going to take an inhale, reach the arms to the ceiling. On the exhale, hands behind the head, shoulders shrugging up. Inhale to release the shoulders back down, raise the arms up, and press on the inhale, the hands back down to beside you. Okay, let's take that again. This is our corkscrew. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, hands behind the head, shoulder shrug. Inhale, shoulders back down, reaching up. Exhale, floating the hands back down. Inhaling up. Exhale, shoulder shrug. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pressing that air back down away from you. One more like that. Inhaling, reach up. Exhale, shoulder shrug. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, floating the hands back down. Fantastic. Right, take the ball out from between the thighs, and we're going to start our toy soldier arms here. So we're taking right arm up towards the ceiling and the left arm is reaching down towards the floor. We're inhaling there, we're exhaling to switch. Left arm to the ceiling, right arm to the floor. Inhale there, switch on the exhale. Inhale, retract. Exhale, switch. Inhale, retract. Okay, so we're going through that movement. We're engaging the core as we do so and the pelvic floor to keep our spine and our pelvis nice and stable. So we shouldn't be wobbling and changing our back while we're doing this movement. That's coming through the shoulders, driving through the core. Okay, from there we're going to integrate the feet as well. So let's all take the right arm up and the left toe, we're going to come up onto that. So from here, we're going to come up onto toes, bring the arms to the midpoint and switch sides. Left hand up, right toes, just leaning on the right toes there. Okay, so we're doing that again, coming up onto both toes, switching the arms and then coming back. So you're doing opposite arm and leg. And this is our toy soldier arms with our walking legs. Now what's important with this is that core engagement to keep the core and the pelvis stable, but also the rising up on the toes to switch over. So rather than wiggling the hips, the switch movement is up and down. So we're integrating, we're warming up the calves, warming up the ankles, warming up the foot, and warming up obviously the shoulder and our core through the walking, through the arms at the top. Lovely, okay, so floating all of that back down then, we're going to take our side plie now. So just bringing those toes apart and angling them at sort of 45-degree angles into the room, and then hands on the waist coming down into that side plie. So from here we need to just double check that we can see our toes inside our knees, making sure that we're not allowing the knees to drop in too much. And then from here we're inhaling up and exhaling to reach long, stretching the leg out behind you, just putting some light engagement, light pressure through the knee, just to hold us steady a little bit. And then from there, popping the hand behind the head, inhaling to open up and look to the ceiling, exhaling to close the gap, elbow to knee, looking over the shoulder. So inhaling open, exhaling closed. Now we've got a good bit of core engagement going on here to support our torso, so we're not dumping into the leg. Might be starting to burn a little through the thigh, so opening up from here, reaching long again, and then allowing that reaching hand to glide down and across in front of us, switching to the other side, raising the other arm then overhead into our side lunge, and then from there, hand behind the head, opening out on the inhale, getting that spinal twist, stretch through the pecs, and then exhaling, elbow to knee, looking over the shoulder. Inhale, open, exhale, twist and close. So again, just reminding ourselves of the setup, strong through the core so that we're not dumping our weight into that shoulder and that knee. And then just remembering to have nice relaxed shoulders through this. Stopping at the top again, reaching long, and then coming back through the midpoint, and then up out of our plie. Lovely. Let's take that to the other side then. Inhaling here, exhaling down into the plie. Inhaling up and over to the other side. This time we're going to start on. And then hand behind the head, opening out on the inhale. Exhale, round we go, looking over the shoulder. Inhaling up exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling down. One more like that, then opening up, and then reaching long. Inhaling in there, exhale, sweeping the hand across and over, reaching the opposite hand up into our stretch. Inhaling there, hand to behind the head, opening up on the inhale, exhale, twist. Open, inhale, exhale, twist. So strong through the core here, strong through the legs. And lovely twist. Full body warm up. Opening out, reaching long again then. And then core drawing you back to the midpoint, hands on the waist. And then back out of that plie. Well done. Okay, tick-tocking the feet back together then. And we're going to come into our dancer pose now, our balance for today. So depending on your mobility, you might want to use, and your sense of balance, how confident you feel, you might want to use some other props here. If you have a resistance band, or if you have something like a dressing gown cord, then that can help you with the first step of dancer. So I'll demonstrate how you might do that now. So we're starting off, inhaling to prepare, bringing our weight into our left leg, and just coming up onto our right toe. Once we find our focus here, just bringing that right leg up behind us, catching it with the right hand. And if this is difficult in terms of the stretch you've got available through your quad, that's where you might want to put a resistance band around the foot so you're holding the band, giving yourself a little bit of extra room there. If you can manage the hold without that, then that's fine, go for that. From here, we're going to hinge forward at the hips so that our body is coming over looking towards the floor. We're allowing our free hand to reach out in front of us, and then that might be as far as we want to go today. Core is strong, keep trying to keep us from falling. All the wobble is good. And then if you feel comfortable and you want to try the last part, we're pushing the lifted foot, the right foot, into the right hand, and we're pulling that up. The push and the pull, and then winding it all back in. Okay? Switching to the other side then. So weight into the right foot, left leg onto the toes, bringing the left leg up, either catching it with your hand or your dressing gown cord, and then starting just to focus a point on the floor, focus your abdominal strength as well, starting to hinge forward at the hips, reaching long with the hand in front of you, so bringing yourself into that set-up pose. And then if that feels good for you, pushing that left foot into your left hand and finding that extension up and out. Breathing there, keeping your focus, and then allowing that leg to come back down. Challenging. So all the wobble is fine, that's how we're building our strength. Okay, to come to the end of your mat now, we're going to roll down and take a locust. So inhaling to prepare here, exhale to unstack the spine, enjoy that lovely sense of release as you come down, letting the shoulders go, keeping the legs long, and then enjoying a really nice hamstring stretch while you're here. Maybe just bouncing into that a little. And then walking your hands forward out into a down dog. Taking your dog for a walk. Stretching out the calves as you do so. Warming up the feet as well, making sure that they're getting a stretch. And then coming down onto your knees and onto your tummy, ready for a locust. So the first part of the locust we're going to break down into a breaststroke prep level 2. So we're going to come and place our foreheads on the mat and our arms behind us, palms facing up. We're engaging the core, drawing it away from the mat, making sure our glutes are off, And then we're going to, on an exhale, bring the shoulder blades together, which is going to draw the shoulders away from the mat and float the hands up. That's your level 1. Then you're going to float your head up as well, which is your level 2. So double checking here that your glutes are off, and then allowing yourself to float back down to the mat. So inhaling here again, exhale, drawing your core away from the mat, shoulder blades coming together, arms floating, head floating, double checking your glutes are off. Inhaling here, exhale to cascade back down to the mat. Now we're going to unite that with the legs as well. You can use your glutes now. So we're going to inhale to prepare. We're raising up off the mat with our front body, and then we're going to lift the legs long out behind us at the same time. So we're coming into a back bend here. Legs are straight, like someone's pulling them out behind you. From the hip they're raised, so the knees should be off the floor. Inhaling to hold there, exhale to come back down to the mat. Let's do that again. Inhale prepares you, exhale to float everything up away from the mat. Shoulders nice and relaxed, arms reaching, legs reaching, everything's engaged, and then we're floating it back down to the mat. Lovely. Let's come up through a shell stretch then, just to take a little counter stretch for the back there. So you're reaching the hands long, keeping that an active stretch, pulling out from your waist, giving your back a little bit of traction there, and just taking a couple of breaths. Okay, and then back down onto our tummies for a Sphinx pose. So for the Sphinx pose, we want elbows underneath shoulders, palms facing the floor. We want core engagement from the off, so that we're almost lifting our pelvic bone, pubic bone off the mat to keep our lower back protected. And we're thinking about keeping nice relaxed shoulders. We're reaching out from our shoulders rather than dumping down into them. So we want to think about extension. And then from here, we're inhaling, tucking the toes under, peeling away from the mat, up into a forearm plank. Holding there, exhaling to allow our pelvis, knees and feet to come back down to the mat into our Sphinx position. Core on, shoulders nice and long. Inhaling there, tucking the toes under, peeling away with the core strength away from the mat, holding in your plank, and exhaling to allow yourself back down to the mat. Fab. That's enough of those. Let's pull back into a little shell stretch again. Another shell stretch. Just a couple of breaths there. Allow your heart rate to slow a little. And then we're going to come through a down dog again. So from 4-point kneeling up into a down dog. But you're going to make your dog slightly longer, so you might take your feet further away or your arms further away, depending on where you are on the mat. From here we're going to hinge forwards at the shoulders and drop the hips down so that we're into a full plank now. Making sure that your shoulders don't come forwards over your wrist. So we're holding the plank here, and then we're pulling up through the core to bring ourselves back into the dog. Inhaling here, exhaling to hinge forward into the plank. Holding the plank here, inhale prepares you, exhale, pulling that right leg long out behind you, staying strong through that supporting leg, and then floating the right leg back down, taking a breath, and exhale lifts the left leg up, keeping your pelvis lovely and stable through that movement, allowing the left leg to come back down, and then pulling back up into a dog. Fantastic. Take your dog for a walk, and then from here hinging back into a plank, and we're going to count our way to the mat. So from here we're coming to the mat in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done if you stayed with me all the way there. We're all working towards being stronger with that, so don't worry if you had to come down a little early, that's all good. Alright, so we're coming onto our sides now. So taking the head cushion in between our head and our shoulder, bending the legs up there so that our feet are in line with our spine, and then just taking a moment to think about our pelvic alignment. So we want the top hip stacked directly over the bottom hip. Really watch out in case your hips want to slide this way and your tummy wants to drop into the floor, because that's going to bend your spine. We want to pull that top hip down, make it level, feel that lift from your waist. So hand on your hip, elbow to the ceiling, take your top leg long, pointing the foot. Inhale prepares you, exhale to slowly sweep that foot forwards, flex at the ankle and drag the foot back heel first. As far as you can without wobbling. Point the foot again, forward on the exhale. Flex the foot, inhale, return. Okay, so watching out here for making sure the shoulders are nice and relaxed. We should have a lot of core engagement going on to support this movement. And making sure that our stability is the thing that we're prioritising rather than the range of movement we've got in the leg there. Okay, so as we pull back with that, stopping there at the point that we started and just pulsing the leg here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Folding that back down. And then taking both legs long, kickstand with the bottom foot, so flexing that ankle for a bit of stability. You can either keep your fingertips on the mat in front of you for additional stability, or you can keep the hand on the hip for additional challenge. From here, we're double checking that we haven't dropped into the waist and dropped into the floor, checking that that hip has gone long. Inhale prepares you, exhale to lift the leg up and lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. So with this one, we're trying to get into the glute med. So you should feel that in the back of your bottom here. If you're not feeling it, just check that your leg isn't going forwards. Check that it's coming directly above your foot that's on the floor, or a little bit behind, pulling back rather than forwards, okay? Just to make sure you know where you're going to get that engagement. Okay, last one there, raising up and then drawing a dinner plate. So pointing the foot rather, drawing around 3 dinner plates, 2 dinner plates, 1 dinner plate, and then back the other way, 3 dinner plates, 2 dinner plates, 1 dinner plate, and back to the start. Fabulous, well done. Give yourself a pat. All right, coming up then onto your shoulder for a side bend. So with shoulder, the elbow is directly underneath the shoulder. We're not dropping into that again. We're staying strong, proud out of that. Bending both knees there, stuck together. Top hand on the top thigh. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to lift up and reach long with the hand. Inhale to hold. Exhale to come back down. Inhale prepares us. Exhale, lift and long. Inhale, hold, strong through the obliques here. Exhale to come back down. Okay, this time we're going to add a leg movement. So we're inhaling to prepare, exhaling to go long, and float the leg long as well. Inhale to hold here, exhale to come back to the midpoint. Inhale to prepare, exhale to go long with the arm and the leg again, strong through the shoulder, the supporting waist. Inhale to hold, exhale to wind it back in. Fabulous. Okay, let's take a little mermaid on our way through the middle point. So we've got the bottom leg in front of us, the top leg wrapped behind. If this is difficult to get your pelvis aligned in this position, then take your back leg out in front of you and see if that's easier, or if not, you can do it with both legs out in front. Okay, so find a position that's useful comfortable for you. And then it doesn't matter which way you go first. Inhaling to reach up, exhale to reach over, trying to keep both sits bones on the mat. So this is a spine, side waist stretch. Inhaling there, a little bit of core engagement takes you over. And the other side, so just inhaling there, enjoying that stretch through the side waist, through the arm, the pecs, and then exhaling to come back over. All right, let's take our cushion to the other side, and we'll do it all over again for the other side. So we're starting out with side kick level 2, so that's bent knees, double checking we've got our alignment through our hips, hand on the hip, top leg going long, and we're starting our side kick. So exhale forwards, flexing at the ankle, inhale back. Pointing the toe, exhaling forwards, flexing the foot, inhale back. So nice and slowly, so that you're resisting the movement forward, you're resisting the movement back. And then running through your checklist, have you got nice relaxed shoulders? Is your core engaged and supporting you? If you've got a little bit of pelvic floor engagement, are you making sure that you're prioritizing stability over range of motion? Fantastic. Okay, one more of that. Bringing that back, pointing the toe and pulsing for 3, 2, 1, and release, back down. And then both legs going long. Kickstand the foot, so flexing that bottom ankle. Double checking you've still got your alignment. Hand on the hip or hand down on the mat. Inhale prepares you. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Now obviously this is coming through the back bottom, the glute med here. But you're also using your core to support that, drive that movement. Okay, so let's do one more of those, and then the last one up, we're stopping, pointing the foot and drawing around 3 dinner plates, 2 and 1. Keep your stability the other way. 3, 2, 1, and down. Fantastic. Well done, glute. Okay, up onto your elbow then for our side bend. So both legs bent, making sure we're lifting up out of that shoulder joint again, strong through the oblique here underneath us. Inhale prepares us, exhale lifting the hips, letting the arm sweep across, reach over, inhaling there, exhaling back down to the mat, taking an inhale, exhale to reach long, inhale to hold, exhale to allow yourself to come back down to the mat. Now we're going to add the leg in here as well. So inhale prepares us, exhale to lift up, reaching the leg and the arm long, keeping that shoulder lovely and strong. Inhale there, exhale back down, inhale prepares us, exhale lift and reach, inhale hold, exhale to come back down to the mat. Fantastic. Let's come through our mermaid on the other side. Okay, so just getting your set up there. Inhale to reach, exhale to come across to any side that you would like. Inhaling there, core engagement sweeps us slowly over to the other side. Breathing into the stretch in the other direction, trying to make sure both sits bones are on the mat. Inhaling there and back to the midpoint. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to come down to the mat in a moment. So just double check that you've got your head cushion ready for you. And then you might want to use the ball for this one if you have that available. So we're going to start in a seated position, legs zipped up together and body nice and straight coming out of that pelvis. So we're a bit of a right angle here. We're going to start with a half roll back. So arms out in front of you, holding the ball. Inhale to prepare you, exhale to roll off the sits bones, tucking the tailbone under, keeping the core engaged and coming through our C curve here. So we're rolling down through the C curve. We're going to stop at a moment that feels challenging for you. We're breathing here, we're going to come down another inch, we're breathing here, we're going to come up an inch, breathing. Exhale back down 2 inches, inhale here, and then we're going to roll all the way back up, slowly, nice and slowly, back to our starting position, nice straight back. Just allow the shoulders a little roll, and we'll take that again. Inhale prepares us, hands out in front, and then starting to roll off the sits bones, core engaged, tucking the tailbone under, coming through that C curve down to the point where you feel challenged today. Inhale, hold it there, down an inch, hold it there, keep breathing, down another inch, keep breathing, and then back an inch, hold it there, up an inch, hold it there, and then rolling all the way back up, slowly does it to your start position. Fabulous. And then allow the arms just to do a nice couple of shoulder rolls. And we're going to take that into a teaser now. So with your teaser, we are going to go all the way back down to the mat and back up again. If you know that's a bit challenging for you, you feel free to put the ball behind you so that you can either stop when you meet the ball and it can help you get back up again, or you can roll all the way over the ball, and again it will help you on the way back up. If you have a resistance band or a dressing gown cord, you can also use that. Just pop it around the legs and hold on to it so that it gives you something just to pull into on the way back up. Okay? So, we're starting in the teaser with the legs in that bent, little bit of a bent position, and feet hip width distance apart for this one. Okay? So, arms out, we're going to start, we're going to reach up tall, and then we're going to come through the same pelvic movement, bringing the hands down, coming into the C curve, tucking the tailbone under, and we're going to slow it down as slow as we can, all the way down to the mat, and then once we're down, taking the arms overhead, making sure the ribs don't fly up to the ceiling, keeping the core engaged, having a breath there. On the exhale, bringing the arms back over and coming up, driving up through that difficult part, and then all the way up, arms overhead, back to the start position. Lovely, that's teaser level 1. Let's do that again then. So arms up to the start position, rolling off the sits bones, coming down into that C curve, core is engaged, legs are straightening, slowing it down through that difficult part, arms overhead, making sure that those ribs don't fly up to the ceiling, inhaling there, and then on an exhale, gathering everything up, gathering your strength, pulling into that core, coming through the C curve, into that seated position, arms lifted overhead. Wonderful work, everyone. All right, so let's come down to the mat now. We're going to roll down through the teaser, but we're going to stay down this time. So just coming down without the ball, slowly, slowly, and then head on the mat, knees up into our Pilates rest position. So hands by our waist and knees and feet hip width distance apart. So from here, we're going to do our hundreds. Your choice where you have the legs on this one. So level 1, you keep your legs on the mat. Level 2, you raise one into tabletop. Level 3, both legs are in tabletop. Level 4, you add an abdo prep as well. If you're adding the abdo prep, make sure that you don't lose the gap underneath your lower back. Okay, so you're pulling from the abdominals rather than allowing the flexion through your spine. Okay, so find your movement, the place you're going to be today. I'm choosing a level 3 today. And then we're floating the hands off the mat, and we're going to pulse our hands up and down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're making sure our core is strong through this. And making sure that we're relaxing through the shoulders. And we're approaching, believe it or not, I'm able to count while I'm doing this, around 50. So you're halfway there, keep going. 60, 7, 8, 9, 10, 70 that was. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lowering any legs that are in tabletop down to the floor. Well done. You've done the 100. Your reward is a hip twist level 2. So zipping the legs together, feet and ankles like they're glued together. Taking the arms out to the side, either in a T or a cactus. Inhaling there and allowing the legs to drop gently, controlled to one side, keeping both shoulders on the mat, so allowing that twist through the spine. Inhaling there, allowing that feeling of release through the abdominals. And then on an exhale, engaging through the core, slowly bringing the knees back to the midpoint. Inhaling there and allowing them to drop to the other side. Taking your head away from your knees to really enjoy a deep twist there through the lower back. Inhaling into that. And then on the exhale, bringing the knees back to the midpoint. And then taking a figure 4 stretch. So bringing one ankle over the other knee. And then bringing that knee in towards you, clasping behind the knee with both hands, if that's available to you, and then bringing that knee, that leg in towards you. If it's available to you as well, you can put your elbow against the knee that is hovering, and then push into that for a bit more of a stretch into the glute. You can tick-tock your legs side to side to feel where the stretch needs to happen. You might want to take your ankles for a spin in either direction. Love that. And then let's take that stretch to the other side. Inhaling and exhaling to release. Relaxed shoulders, movement through the ankles, maybe a tick-tock. Enjoying that moment. And then taking both feet either side of the mat, arms up in a cactus, and allowing the windscreen wipers to fold to one side, getting a stretch through your hip flexors, through your quads. Inhaling here, switching with a bit of core strength to the other side. Inhaling into that stretch there, keeping both shoulders on the mat. You can take your head to the other side if you wish, or keep it centered. Enjoying that moment and bringing your legs back to the midpoint. We're going to roll over onto one side to come up into 4-point kneeling. From here we're going to take a cat-cow, so allowing the tummy just to release down to the mat towards the floor, looking out into the room, shoulders relaxed for your cow pose, and then exhaling to tuck the tailbone under, ripple through the spine, and look back through your knees for the cat pose. Inhaling into the cow, reaching out of that pose, exhaling through into the cat, and reaching out of that, really feeling those points of stretch through the cow and through the cat. And then
then tucking the toes under, walking your hands back to your knees, coming into a little froggy squat, if that's available to you. And then from there, bottom to the ceiling so that you're in a forward fold. Breathing in there, enjoying that bit of a hamstring stretch, taking the hands for a walk to one side, taking them back round to the other side, getting a bit of a nerve stretch through the legs as well. And then back to that midpoint, inhaling there, bending at the knee, restacking the spine, core engaged to bring you back up safely. Really slowing down and articulating through that spine. Rolling the shoulders at the last point of extension. Inhaling at the top here. Lovely. Okay, let's take 3 cleansing breaths to finish on then. Inhaling up to the ceiling. Exhaling to let it go behind you. Inhaling up to the ceiling. Exhaling back down. And a lovely energizing last breath up to the ceiling. And exhaling back behind you. Fabulous. Well done. That's you for today. Have a good rest of your day and I'll see you again soon.